are here. We are live, guys. I am TJ, aka Flash by Night, and welcome back to the Flash by Night channel. If this is your first time, welcome to the Flash by Night channel. I am happy to have you. This is the live version of the re-up. I'm starting to do these live a little bit more often, even if I'm starting late. So yeah, I am basically just showing off some of my new comic book day pickups and some of my pickups from throughout the week. That's what we're here for. Maybe chat it up with the chat a little bit if anyone is here. Actually, we have one person here. Um, Ahoy to Captain Comics. Ahoy mates and mermaids to all of you out there. How we doing, Captain? Good evening. Um, So yeah, I wanted to show off a few things I have, and what I'm going to do first is I'm going to start off with something fun. So of course, my name is Flash by Night, and it's kind of an amalgam between Flash and it's kind of an amalgam between Flash and Moon Knight. And look who is here, Mr. Loke Dog 51. What is going on, sir? Thank you for showing up. And so I got something in the shop today. It's not a book, it's not a slab, but it is a Marvel previews book. And look who is on the cover. Look who is gracing us with his presence come July. His mission is justice. His name is Moon Knight. Moon Knight #1 in July. I've been begging for it for 2, 3 years, maybe. Um, and it is going to be written by Jed McKay, who wrote the last Taskmaster mini, which if you follow me, you know that the first issue of Taskmaster kind of scared me, but he righted the ship as it went along, and so I'm happy that Moon Knight, or as Chillmonger would say, I'm happy Mooney is going to get his own book again starting in July. And of course, it wouldn't be Marvel, and it can't be Marvel if they don't also give us a fair number of covers. And so we're gonna get some things going. We're gonna get some Moon Knight action going here, starting in July, and that's gonna be great. Chillmonger, how are you doing tonight, sir? So that's the first thing I want to start off with. Before anything else, is my jubilation over having Moon Knight back in my life. The next thing I wanted to take a look at was a couple of what do they call treasury books, treasury editions, um, that basically my store gifted me. Um, they aren't in great shape at all. They aren't anything to go home and show to impress people with. But I do have a gigantic Flash #1. What is this? Famous edition. Well, it might not be Flash Comics #1, but I do recognize this Jay Garrett cover that is part of this famous edition. Also, I never ever see this cover whenever we discuss the Flash and Superman races, but I have a Flash versus Superman race book, and this may I haven't opened it. In fact, the cover is detached, so I may not open it. But this kind of looks like that first Flash race cover. Only, of course, that cover was black, and actually, it may be almost a replica. I'm not sure, but I never saw this cover before until I walked in the shop, and they basically gifted it to me. So yeah, like I said, a few fun things at the shop. Let's see, probably got five things in the previews that you really want. Um, what are one of those, or like one or two of those things, Chillmonger? I'm actually interested. Yeah, so yeah, so those are my fun things, my fun little pickups today. And so I have a few actual new books that I picked up. Um, and as the one man gang I am calling myself Team Small Hall, because I don't get that many books on New Comic Book Day. And I have four, well, actually three. I have two copies of one book, but I have four books for New Comic Book Day itself this week. And the first book, I've plastered it all over social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, you name it. I've pestered people with it all day. But begun the Clone Saga has. That is Miles Morales Spider-Man number 25, the official start of the Clone Saga. If you have been checking this run out, the Clone Saga itself, you could probably say started on issue number 7. But the thing that Saladin Ahmed did with this book was that he introduced us to a character in issue number 7. That character uh, put Miles through the ringer in issue number 8, kind of poked and prodded him, tortured him, made him complete some challenges, and then tied him back down again. Made him complete some more challenges, then tied him back down again. Threatened his family if he tried to leave, and all that good stuff. So I'm pretty sure that there are savvier. I'm pretty sure that there are savvier readers than me who saw this character named the Assessor um, snatch Miles up earlier on in the run and saw him put Miles through all these paces and may have guessed that this is where they're going, but I didn't see it. I didn't get it. Um, but we're here now. We're at the Clone Saga, and to be honest, I see where we've got some no more Clone Sagas, and we've got some agreements, which I've heard, um, which is kind of why I poked and prodded at people all day long because so Loke Dog of course knows, but I'm a really new reader, and I wasn't around for the Clone Saga, and well, none of the Clone Sagas. I think there have been between the 616 and the Ultimate Universe, I think 4 versions of the Clone Saga. I wasn't around for any one of them. So this is my first Clone Saga, and this looks different than what other people have described to me with the original Clone Sagas with Peter Parker. Um, and so we're going to ride this ride. We're going to see where it takes us. I don't, for the complaints that I've heard about the Clone Sagas, I don't think this is going to spread over multiple books. I don't think this is going to take 3 or 4 years or 5 years or however long the Clone Saga took to shake out. I think this will be pretty quick, maybe a story arc, and then I think issue 27 is supposed to be really, really bad for Miles. So I think he's going to get in there, maybe hit it with one story arc with clones, which the clones in here are really funny because there's one that can't speak, and then the leader shows up, and there's 3 different clones that look really different. I think you can see them on the covers of various Miles Morales 25 books. But it was pretty interesting. I don't hate it. Um, I know a lot of people do because a lot of people lived through various Clone Sagas, as I said, and I know it as soon as it dropped. I knew it irritated everybody, but this is my first Clone Saga, and so we're gonna see how it pans out. Let's see. And what is up to algorithm? How are we doing, good sir? Thank you very much for that reminder. Because I've never, and I've got to get used to this. I've never, when I'm live, ask for thumbs up and subs and things. I need to remember that kind of thing, which I guess will come with time. So I appreciate Agu for reminding uh, the members who are here to hit that thumbs up. So the next book I picked up is actually two issues of one book, and it is, I believe, the A cover to Robin #1, and this may be the B cover. It is a wraparound. Um, it is a wraparound cover, and I also gave this a read already, and it was pretty fun. I'm not familiar with Damian Wayne. Not really familiar with any of the Robin characters, but I checked this out because I wanted to see something new, and it was pretty interesting. He basically finds his way onto this island to jump in this tournament of Lazarus to try and prove he's the best fighter in DC. Although I've seen some people argue, and I don't know if the person who people are arguing for will show up. But I've seen some people want Cassandra Cain to show up to this thing and actually give Damian Wayne a run for his money. But so far she's not in this book. But this is a fun book. He does get challenged by a few people. We actually see, but I don't know. Does anybody else know that Bane has a actual canon father who's an actual character in DC? I didn't know that until recently, and he shows up here. Um, and there is a gnarly ending to this book, which cannot be real. Uh, but I'd love for if you see this book, if you have a chance to read this book, I would love for you to read it to the end because I can't believe what happened in the end. I can't believe it's real, but who knows? Who knows what happens in DC? What happens in the comics? Um, Especially at a tournament called the Tournament of Lazarus. I'll leave it right there. What is going on, Johnny from Dream of August Comics? Let's see. Let's do a giveaway. Giveaway Fear Case issues 1 through 3, US only. Must be 18 years of age to win. Okay, well, I appreciate that, Johnny. If you want to give that away, um, let me have a minute and think of something because I want to think of a question to go along with the giveaway. But I appreciate that. Also, Ages Dream of August Comics dropped an interview this morning with Ages of Alaska uh, comic book store, and they were really good people, really funny people. I did not expect the interview to go that way. It was really interesting, really funny, and so I would encourage you to check out his channel. Um, he is doing interviews and getting in touch with a lot of people in different parts of the community. Really, really fun. All right, so next book I picked up is the last book in one of my favorite series, um, one of my favorite indie series, and that is issue #5 of Illradic, aka Erratic, from AWA. Was artisans, writers, and artists. I think that's what it stands for. But yeah, Erratic #5. Really fun book, really fun title. I have issue #4. I haven't read it. I'm only through issue #3, but it's a really fun title about this character Oliver, who basically has superpowers for 10 minutes at a time, and over different issues over the miniseries. They're kind of eating away and peeling away the onion layers as to why he has this power, why he's in the city he's in, and what's up with this strange little town he lives in. Because there's a secret in this town that no one talks about, and you get to see it unfold in this book. And so this is issue number 5 of 5. I'm hoping they do another series because I really like this character. Um, it comes from the AWA book, The Resistance. It's kind of a spinoff. And since the Resistance also got a second series, I'm hoping Erratic does too. Distracted Dad Gaming. What in the world is going on? What is the world coming to? Uh, um, how are you doing, good sir? Thank you for dropping in on us. Let's see. There we go. Part 2 of comic hobby origin story airs. Oh, so it's airing Friday. I don't have to wait that long. I was thinking I'd have to wait for part 2 for like a week or two, but this is great. Yeah. Now I'm fanboying on my own video. Y'all excuse me. Let's see. When does the 10-minute power recharge? I think he has I think it's like a 24-hour charge basically. Um and I'm not exactly sure the source of his power. They elaborated on it a little bit in issue number 3. But then issue number 3 ended kind of weird because there was a thing that happened between him and his brother. I don't want to spoil it. Uh but it was really interesting. And so I have to go back and maybe in issue 4 and definitely issue 5, they'll give real details to how that works and how his power works. All right. And so another book I picked up, and this wasn't new this week. I think it was new last week. And I wanted to give it a try. My cousin CJ um, wanted me to give it a try. And so I picked up Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. What is this? 116. And it was interesting. I can't really say whether or not it was up my alley. Because the spot I entered the story in was really weird for me because it basically has Jenica trying to get a band together to take on Bebop and Rocksteady in I kind of a challenge concert in this place called Mutant Town. Um, and I guess it's kind of like wrestling loser leaves town match or whatever. And that is not what I was expecting when I bought a Ninja Turtle book. Now, that is not saying that the reason that you buy a Ninja Turtle book or I would buy a Ninja Turtle book doesn't happen in other issues. But this issue, I think, was maybe the wrong issue for me to jump on with. We'll put it like that. I'll check out a few back issues of Ninja Turtles before I decide if I want to try and really make a go of this. But right now, I think this may get the whammy. And if you're old, if you're old enough, you know what the whammy is. Next book I picked up, and the rest of these is just books I picked up along the way recently. But I have Marvel Voices Legacy #1, and I wanted the Shuri variant. It was sitting in a it was kind of sitting in a store, and I saw it before, and I didn't pick it up. And when I went back to the store, I was hoping that it would still be there, and it was there, and so I went ahead and grabbed it. Let's see. Let's see. Do I like filler books? See, that's true. Now you're trolling. No, the filler books are fine. I think if I had jumped in um, with the first issue of this story arc, or maybe the story arc beforehand, if I had a good starting point, I would have been better off. But if story arcs usually I think like 6 issues long, I feel like I jumped into issue number 4 or 5. Um, but that's kind of what it is. I won't completely abandon the idea of reading more Ninja Turtle books. I've got to get around to reading my last Ronin books, but I won't completely abandon the idea of reading Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But it's this issue wasn't what I thought it was going to be. That's just it. Now my next three books I actually got at a show recently, and um, I had to dig through. I came home with who knows how many books from this show in Huntsville, and some books I already showed. Some books I had to find. So these next three are all new Captain America with Sam Wilson, but it's not the first series. It's not the really valuable one. But this series starts off and it says fear him, and if I'm not mistaken, that's issue one. There's issue two. I believe Marvel has its own version of Scarecrow, and that's kind of a funny thing to me. I get irritated sometimes with the conversation and the idea that Marvel copies DC and DC copies Marvel, because anytime you have a DC book with a male hero and you have a Marvel book with a male hero, they must have both copied each other because they both have male heroes. It's a thing always, and it always kind of irritates me. Like, let them write what they're gonna write, as long as they're good stories. But having having two villains named Scarecrow, who I assume by the title Fear Him means they both try to strike fear one way or another. That kind of means that somebody copied off somebody, and I want to say it's Marvel. I think DC has had their Scarecrow longer, but this is what we are going to do. Um, they copy. Let's see. They copy from novels too. That is interesting. Yeah, yeah. But the concept of DC and Marvel is kind of funny to me, um, because I feel like we want these two long standing publishing giants. We'll call them that, publishing giants, to come up with something new all the time. And I feel like there's a possibility. I don't want to limit anybody, but I feel like there's a possibility that with their size and their longevity, they've already ran over so much new. If they came out, if either Marvel or DC, which I can probably find a new character right now, if Marvel or DC drops a new character tomorrow, I feel like you can find a version of that character in their books 20, 30, 40 years ago. I remember everybody being hyped over Tinian's Batman run, which is also turned around, which is funny to me. But people were being hyped over Tinian's Batman run, and the punchline hype was cool. The designer hype was cool until we found out who the designer was. But then they brought the Ghostmaker, and Ghostmaker being an old friend of Bruce Wayne's, and the first thing that hit my mind when they said that Ghostmaker was an old friend of Bruce Wayne's, like, is this Hush? Like, not literally is it Hush, but are they just doing Hush again? And that's kind of my thing, is that I think if one of these two tries to make a new character, they've made so many characters. I don't know. It's in my mind now. I'm not an expert, but in my mind, it's so hard for me to imagine doing something completely new when you've been revitalizing, you've been digging, you've been trying to do new with your main characters for 40, 50, 60, 70 years. Like, if right now you open an Amazing Spider-Man title, maybe not this one because I don't know if there's ever been a social media suit. Spoiler alert, but If you read an Amazing Spider-Man title or Amazing Spider-Man story currently, I would be willing to bet you a small amount of money that that story or a story similar to it, a story with a similar structure, has probably been an Amazing Spider-Man before. It would be new-ish. I like new-ish. That's funny. All right, so before we go any further, um, before we go any further, it is morphin time. How are we doing? Burke family, 54 comics. Um, is this your first time being on a live stream with me? I don't know, but I'm happy you stopped by. Thank you very much, sir. Um, before I go too far, I want to go ahead and do this giveaway of Fear Case issues number 1 through 3, coming from Dream of August Comics, and I'm going to ask a question about Thanos and about the recent Marvel cosmic universe. So, in a recent story, Infinity Wars, Thanos was basically killed. Spoiler alert again. Thanos was basically killed by a mystery character. I forget the mystery character's name, uh, but the mystery character turned out to be somebody he knew really well. Chopped his head clean off in the first issue. Um, for the Fear Case number 1 through 3, and maybe this isn't fair for me not to know the mystery character's name, but can you tell me the character that chopped Thanos' head off in Infinity Wars? This maybe happened 3 or 4 years ago, and this kind of led into Donny Cates's Guardians run. Let's see. In fact, if you want a hint, this person, I think you would guess would always want to cut Thanos' head off. This person in multimedia has tried to cut Thanos' head off. Um, it didn't work out very well. Let's see. I have. Let's see. It is not Thor. Um, let's see. All right, I'm gonna get I'm gonna get really close and say it's a member of the Guardians team. Okay. Um, let's see. I'll just send you 1.5 books for making two guesses. But the character who cut Thanos' head off is Gamora. Um, and I really feel bad that, and maybe that's because the story didn't really excite me like I wanted it to. But this Infinity Wars story, I got the variant issue I picked up a couple of days ago. Well, a couple of weeks ago, and this is the character. I forget what name she named herself, but it was basically Gamora in disguise. She cut Thanos' head off, and then you find out later on in the first issue it was her. So yeah, Low Dog 51. Uh, let's see. Looking for another book where Drax killed Thanos. I think Drax killed Thanos in Annihilation, maybe. And I've never read Annihilation, but I think hearsay tells me that Drax killed Thanos in Annihilation. I think he may have taken his heart out or something like that. I have to I have to go back and look at it. All right, so Yeah, Low Dog 51. That feels so strange calling you that. Go ahead, Dream of August Comics on Instagram. I don't know if I have a I don't know if I have a I don't know if I can how I wouldn't even know how to drop an Instagram link. Um, but I tell you what, if you don't reach him on Instagram, then I'll facilitate. We'll do something. We'll do something, and I'll facilitate if you don't reach him on Instagram yourself. That's a lot of back and forth, but we're having fun. So one other book I picked up from this show. It's not really a special book. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for showing up and having a giveaway on my behalf. I appreciate it. Have a good rest of your night. And Nosh is in here. I believe this is maybe your first time catching me live. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for showing up. See, gotta put the kids to bed. So hang out as long as you can. I get that. I get that. So this one book that I picked up from the show doesn't have any real significance, but I love the kind of track race start that Flash is getting on this cover. I remember selling this book one time, like for $1 or something. And as soon as I moved it, as soon as I sold this book, I was like, you know what? I really want this book back. This is one of the books that I knew I could find again, but I really want this book because I really love this pose. Last 769 review this weekend. Definitely. If I don't have anything, if I don't have anything get in the way, if I don't have any problems, anything come up, I would definitely like to do the review this weekend for a 769 because it's got something going on. It's got things going on, and again, it's one of those books that um it's not as clean a jump into Flash as like Rebirth was, but it's entertaining. Let's see how many Flash covers have I ever done like that. I don't I don't know. I don't know. I won't say that this is the only one that I've seen myself with this particular pose. Um, I don't know. I'd have to look that up and see if I can find some more kind of out of the gate race poses because I really like this. Let's see. All right, we'll do. I'll hit you up. Have a good night. All right, next book I picked up is one I believe No Good Comics actually recommended, and I didn't pick it up the first time around, but I went ahead and picked it up since I saw it in a store, and it is America Chavez #1. Another one of these characters I don't know anything about. I've never seen any of her books. I know she got some ability to hop across the multiverse. I think. Um, I don't I don't know much more about her than that. So we're going to check this book out and see what it has in store. Next book I picked up, and I actually picked this one up this weekend, and Ultimate Spider-Man #79 is the first appearance of Ultimate Moon Knight. Um, but that cover is not great. It's got Spider-Man, looks like he's in the sewer in some goo or whatever. But that's the first appearance of Ultimate Moon Knight. First cover appearance of Ultimate Moon Knight is Ultimate Spider-Man #80. And I like this much better. This is a much better cover. I like that cover for the first cover of Ultimate Moon Knight. I've got two. I think I've got two copies of this, and I've got two copies of 79. But I really like this cover, even though it's not the first appearance. And my last two books I found this week from different stores are Transformers number 11 and one I have to hide from the missus because she is not going to be cool with whatever happens in this book if you go by the cover. And this is Transformers number 16, and it says Bumblebee's Last Stand. Let me tell you, if this is Bumblebee's last stand in this book, the missus is not going to be cool, and I may have to do something about this book because this book will start beef if something happens to Bumblebee. I don't know if it happens. I'll have to read and see. But I've been trying to grab some of these Marvel Transformers books lately, and this and the other book were like $3 a piece, and so I grabbed them. It was cool. Now the next thing I have, and I don't know if Johnny from Dream of August is still here, but I did win a giveaway from his channel last week. Uh-oh. Okay, making sure that wasn't the address on here. Anyway, I won a giveaway from his channel last week during a during a stream where he and Dank Comics and um I forgot the third person, but they were all talking about the CGC issue of raising prices and bad customer, well, not bad customer service, bad quality control and bad turnaround times and things. And so they were discussing that. And he had a giveaway. Well, I had several giveaways, and I won one. And so let me check out the books that are in the giveaway that I picked up from Dream of August Comics. Oh, okay. So the first book I picked up or I won is Mars Attacks Red Sonja #1. I know nothing about Red Sonja. I know about the Mars Attacks movie, but I have no clue about them together. But this is a great cover um, by Dynamite? Yeah, by Dynamite. Fun little cover. And the second book that I picked up um, is Red Sonja #20. Yeah, Red Sonja #20, and with this looks like warrior polar bear. And if I'm not mistaken, during the origin story of Ages of Alaska, they were talking about this comic book. Now that I think about it, they were talking about this book and how. Wait a minute, is this? They mentioned this possibly being an exclusive. Let me check this out. This is interesting because they were talking about a book that was done possibly for them that had a polar bear on the front. Aha! And there it goes. The Ages of Alaska exclusive cover. That is great. That is great. So yeah, check Ages of Alaska out. They have a YouTube channel, and they also have a store in Alaska. And pretty cool couple. Like I said, they did half of their origin story this morning. I listened to it. They were pretty fun. They were pretty funny, but also really, really good information. So yeah, that is great. And the last couple of things, see, yeah, really, really nice covers. And I assume Tat 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 is, if I remember right, is the Noah's the Martians made in Mars Attacks. They yeah, they got they have issues. All right, sir, you have a good night, and I will catch you on the rebound. Thank you very much for stopping by. So my last two books I have for the night. I actually won on Marvelous Comics comic book slab auction over the weekend. They got it really really fast. So what happened was that he had a couple of Moon Knight books that were I think Moon Knight 195 Virgin variants, and they're like Deadpool issues or whatever. And so I got both of them at a really really good price, and I appreciate him for making those available. And so I picked up, like I said, Moon Knight number 195, got kind of Deadpool version at a 9.8, and this is an unknown comics variant. But yeah, so I picked this up at a 9.8. It's pretty fun. Um, like I said, I got a really good deal on it, and yeah, who doesn't need Mooney in their life? Actually, Mooney, Deadpool, and zombies. Who can't use a mixture of all three? And even though I do not like this character, even though I have not liked this character since 1984, and I liked him even less in 1986. I am going to quote Megatron from the first Michael Bay Transformers movie when Jazz says, "You want a piece of me? You want a piece of me?" And Megatron says, "No, I want two." Oh, that that was so terrible. That was so anticlimactic. I messed up the whole thing. But I grabbed two of these from the same auction, both great deals, and I really do appreciate him for making these available. Um, yeah, more Mooney in my life. So good 9.8 Moon Knight slabs, new books, and of course the new Moon Knight in July coming up. All of that good stuff happened this week. So overall, for me, it was a really good week in comics. Yeah, Cam. You have no idea. I was sitting at work because I knew these were coming, and I was sitting at work and I was thinking, what can I say when I unveil these two slabs that are the same, but they're fire, they're good. What can I say? I don't like Megatron, but Megatron had this perfect line, and I was going to use it and pull out these two. And then when I pull them both out, one is upside down, anticlimactic, messed up the whole thing. The outro is just dead. So now that we've messed up the outro and we've messed up Megatron, maybe that's what I get for even quoting Megatron. That's the thing. That's what I get for quoting Megatron. But that was yeah, but the twins were upside down. It's like I'm holding one, and I'm holding the other one by the feet upside down. Um, but that was what I had this week for my week in comics. Like I said, I don't get a whole lot of new books on New Comic Book Day. I'll get two or three, maybe four, what I want to read. Um, I think one thing I have to get better at is anticipating books that may catch a little heat in the near future, may gain a little value, gain a little steam, and maybe buying some of those on New Comic Book Day before they get out into the market and get to the secondary market and are worth more. I've got to practice that, kind of pay more attention to solicitations, listen to more shows that talk about these kind of things, and yeah, just get better. Um, but right now, I'm team small haul. That's how I do. I'm just looking for the books I read, and if I come across a good spec book, um, then that's great. But I've got to get better. I think I've got to get better at looking for them. But right now, we're team small haul, and that's it. Yeah, yeah, they are. Yeah, they're really really good looking books. Um, in fact, let's see. What does either I don't know if this is supposed to be Mooney or Deadpool. Now Chillmonger has me calling him Mooney all night long. But let's see if I can get that quote in there. What does that say? How in the world am I supposed to keep this outfit clean? That's what I'm wondering for the new Moon Knight show. Is how is Moon Knight going to keep his outfit clean in the show? I know that was a Deadpool quote, but I'm really wondering that for the show whenever Moon Knight debuts. But um, it is running along 10:30 or 10:30 local time, and so I am about to get out of here and uh, go get ready to tackle tomorrow. So I appreciate everybody that stopped by throughout the stream. If you popped in for a second or two, I appreciate it. If you stayed the whole time, I appreciate it. Um, I appreciate anybody that comes by and shows bleach, bleach, and more bleach. Yeah, yeah. But I appreciate everybody that comes by, shows love. I appreciate the community for and being open and inviting me in and making me feel more comfortable than I thought I would have thought that I could feel last year in front of a camera, especially live in front of a camera, talking about comic books. So I thank you all for that. I wish you all good night. And as I always say, love yourself, love others, and I will be back in a flash.